Stop believing recessions are the worst time to start a business. It's the opposite. This might sound crazy, but recessions are the best time to start and launch a business. Think Uber, Airbnb, even Slack, all started in a downturn. And history shows more millionaires are made during a downturn than in times of growth. If you're thinking about starting a business right now, this actually might be the best time to do it. All right, let's talk about what is a recession. Let's start with the basics. A recession is a period of economic decline. Usually, it's defined by 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. In plain language, businesses make less money, unemployment rise, people spend less. It sounds scary, but for entrepreneurs, it could be a massive opportunity. Signs of a recession. How do you know when you're in a recession or heading into a recession? Look for these signs: a rise in unemployment rate, a decline in consumer spending, falling stock markets, high inflation followed by slower growth, and less business investments. Don't just take my word for it. You can check the National Bureau of Economic Research, the Federal Reserve's economic data, and the Bureau of Economic Analysis. So, like I said earlier, millionaires are made in the downturn, and here's why. Here's what no one tells you about millionaires. They kind of like recessions. After the 2008 crisis, the number of millionaires jumped by 17% in just 1 year. Gary Stevenson made millions betting on interest rates. And companies like Airbnb and Uber, they launched when the economy was flat on its back and still thrived. So, why do recessions create millionaires? Why does this happen? Because a downturn means assets and businesses are cheaper, competition pulls back, consumers need to shift, and innovation explodes because the old rule stops working. Case study number 1, the 1990s recession. Here's something you might not know. The early 90s recession gave hungry entrepreneurs an edge. What happened? The feds raised interest rates to fight inflation, borrowing got expensive, oil prices doubled after Iraq invaded Kuwait, and savings and loan crisis frozen bank lending. The impact? Unemployment jumped to 7.8%, spending dropped, and business costs fell, making it cheap to start. Who took advantage? George Rathman. He launched ICO in the middle of it all, and biotech drew investors' money while retail and real estate scared them. And speaking of retail, Daymond John, he fought against the odds. He started FUBU in 1992 with a $100,000 mortgage. Hip hop culture, they were ignored by big brands, but Daymond John, he made a hip hop clothing brand, and he got artists like LL Cool J to wear FUBU for free. What is the lesson? They didn't get rich because of the recession, but the conditions that gave them an edge. All right, case study number 2, the dot-com recession. The early 2000s made overnight millionaires, then overnight brokenaires. The dot-com bust punished hype, but rewarded discipline. In the late 1990s, investors threw cash at anything with .com in their name, even without looking at their financial statements, revenue, or who their customers were. The NASDAQ fell 78% from 2000 to 2002. But who survived? Jeff Bezos. Amazon stock fell 95%, but he pivoted. He doubled down on his strategy. He focused on his cost control, and he quietly built Amazon Web Services. Google was another one. They launched in 1998. They raised 25 million before the crash. They focused on ad revenue, not hype. By 2004, their founders were billionaires. Thomas Forrester, a mutual fund manager who held value stocks and cash while others chased the dot-com trend. He made profits when most lost money. What is the lesson? Recessions strip away fakes and rewards the focused. Case study number 3, post-COVID recovery. March of 2020, that was the fastest market crash in US history and one of the fastest recoveries. Think about it. Lockdown hit, the S&P dropped 34% in just 23 days. Then the government stepped in with stimulus checks, 0% interest rates, and $1 trillion pumped into the economy. So by mid-2021, stock markets and housing hit an all-time high. We gained over 5 million new millionaires. The US billionaires added $1.7 trillion to their wealth. So who thrived? Tech companies like Zoom, Shopify, Peloton. E-commerce and delivery such as Amazon, Instacart, DoorDash, biotech, Pfizer, Moderna, and retail investors who bought the dip. What's the lesson here? They moved fast, they solved new problems, and they used cheap capital to scale. How do you succeed in a recession? Here are 5 steps you can take right now. 1, adapt fast, pivot quickly, test your idea, and adjust. Number 2, leverage low costs, buy assets, add space, and talent while they're cheap. Step 3, focus on value. High value at a fair price wins loyalty. Number 4, use technology. Automate and go digital. Number 5, solve pain points. Start with real problems, not just a product. The truth is, recessions don't hand out success. They lower the barrier. If you're prepared, you can grab market shares while others retreat. The next reset is coming. Will you panic or will you pivot? The next Airbnb, the next Jeff Bezos, the next Damian John could be you, but only if you start now. Save this video for later. Share this with a friend who's always talking about starting a business. And as always, I'm Sabrina Michele. Until next time, obtain wealth and stay wise. Bye.